Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Data Dispatch. I hope you guys are all having a great weekend. Sorry for the delay in videos. I was sick. I had literally no energy to get on here to make a video, but we are finally back full force, ready to go and keep you guys updated. What we're seeing right now is a big reaction to the tariffs in the overnight hours on Robinhood. Actually, a pretty strong pullback across the board, Palantir included. We're going to be talking about why this is important because remember, Palantir has earnings tomorrow, and if you're going to be watching this video tomorrow, it's after the bell. Now, what we're seeing in terms of the pullback is quite drastic due to the tariffs that are being imposed on Canada, Mexico. We have some interesting things happening with China. So we're going to be giving you guys all the up-to-date information that you need and also talking about Palantir. If you're a new or returning viewer, hit that like button, subscribe for daily videos, and of course, not a financial advisor, collecting all the data and dispatching it to you. Now, if we pop it up here, remember, Palantir closed at 82.49. I was keeping track of it while I was sick, kind of throughout the week. What I'm seeing here is optimism, a lot of hype being traded off of earnings. This typically does carry more volatility. Palantir doing a great job getting back into the 80s and at 82, near these record highs, especially with earnings that would be coming out. A big thing, though, however, that's really jeopardizing, I think, some price action here is the futures that are actually dropping. We see the Dow Jones futures that drop more than 450 points after Trump hints that the U.S. trading partners with tariffs. Now, what we do see here, looking at Palantir right now, it's down about $4 at $78. You see the VU, which is the Vanguard S&P 500 ETF. That's down about $10 right now in the overnight hours. So a pullback across the board, yes. And talking about kicking off this new week, investors are really weighing on what is going to be the impact of the U.S. tariffs on goods from some of the big key partners. Now, on Saturday, he slapped a 25% tariff on goods from Mexico and Canada and also placed a 10% levy on imports from China. One thing that's important to know is that the U.S. does about $1.6 trillion in business with these three countries, and the response was more retaliatory in the fact that Canada responded saying, hey, we're going to give the U.S. tariffs of its own. And while Mexico said it's going to explore levies on U.S. imports, and China followed up here with a lawsuit with the World Trade Organization. Markets are really going to need to take a rest from Trump's tariffs agenda. Here's the thing. Since we've seen the change in administration, we've seen a very bullish market, a lot of optimism coming into the market, but there has been some uncertainty on how tariffs are going to affect the economy, and also one of the big words, the I word, inflation. How are tariffs going to affect inflation? A lot of people are speculating that it is going to be increasing prices if these companies are going to be imposed with high percentage tariffs. Now, we don't really know what's going to happen across the board. However, the thing that kind of stinks is that these are being imposed as we have a big week of fourth quarter earnings. More than 120 companies in the S&P 500 are actually set to report their results. That's a lot, including we have Amazon, Palantir. So talking about that, looking out on Friday too, you also have non-farm payroll report for January that's going to be coming out, a big piece of macroeconomic data. So what are analysts thinking about Palantir stock ahead of earnings? One thing that's important to remember, we talked about this, currently estimations are sitting for earnings per share at 11 cents, and that's correlated with a revenue of $781 million. We've seen earnings per share revisions, 14 bullish ones in the last 90 days. But looking at what some of the big analysts are thinking, they're kind of skeptical on whether the analytics software provider can sustain its recent momentum. We've seen some fluctuations in Palantir. However, we've seen an incredible change and increase in its market capitalization. I've been bullish on Palantir kind of all through 2023, 2024, and specifically looking here, Palantir does have many positive outlooks ahead of it. One of the biggest concerns, though, of course, is the price that is behind it, its valuation. And right now, a lot of analysts covering the stock, they're expecting the stock to not further rise in price accumulation because a lot of their price targets are kind of back down in the 50s. That's about a 40% drop from now. Now, I'm not saying I don't agree that Palantir is going to be dropping down at $50 tomorrow, but What I'm saying is with earnings coming here, if for some reason Palantir is in line, misses anything by that sake, remember we do have the whole stock-based compensation kind of controversy that comes with that. That is where I think we could see a larger fall in Palantir. So anybody that's sitting on the sideline or has a lot of eggs in one basket right now, trying to play on earnings is incredibly risky due to the fact, not just because of Palantir's earnings, but with what the tariff implications is going to have on the economy tomorrow and what is going to be the complete reaction across the board. On top of that, you also have Cathie Wood that is selling about 10.4 million of Palantir before earnings, which a lot of people don't, agree with some of her decisions, and there's a lot of controversy about her decisions. People following her, people following not in terms of ARK Invest, looking at the track record in terms of performance. However, it is just a big figure that is selling. Palantir does bring more of a negative sentiment to the whole atmosphere. One cool thing though, Elon Musk here acknowledging, saying Alex Karp is awesome here, and kind of to respond to this Twitter thread right here. So I saw that. Great to see Elon shouting out for Alex Karp, CEO of Palantir. Great to see there. He is a very good, I would say, CEO for Palantir right now. Now, in terms of some of the other things that we have been looking at, Tempest. Another big stock. Remember, Nancy Pelosi bought this. We're seeing a pullback right now. It's sitting at about 53 right now as we speak in the overnight hours. A lot of these stocks across the board are showing signs of pullback just due to the fact that we are seeing these tariffs. So, in addition, one of the big things, we do have the U.S. dollar, though, that is edging higher after the tariffs. We see it advancing nearly 1% right now, kind of as we speak, continuing gains in the currencies trading at a near 5-year high. We're also seeing gasoline futures and oil prices are higher here, part of this energy market. One of the big predictions with these tariffs here is that this is going to increase the cost of energy, which, hey, that doesn't sound good to any of us. We don't like our utility bills getting higher. But U.S. tariffs on Mexico, Canada, and China, right here, the moves, this shows traders expect these levies to drive up energy costs in the near term. So, RBOB right here, gasoline futures, up about 3.1%. With these continuing to rise, we'll see what happens in terms of the reaction of the market. Looking at another market here, cryptocurrency right now is falling, having a strong pullback. We see Bitcoin at about 94,000 right now, I believe, as we speak. And that is just due to the fact, in terms of the reaction we're seeing right now, the markets are continuing to react in more of a negative way to these tariffs. So what do you make of this? What do you make of Palantir? Do you think we'll see a reversal in the market here, or do you think we'll continue to see volatility in the negative, in the bearish direction, coming on the opening bell? Peace out, take care, and I'll catch you guys later.